Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are not reviewing a product, a gadget or even a car, but something far more important, far more complex, and far more impactful. We are going to take a deep look at why the United States does not want to lose India's alliance. And to make this explanation both relatable and structured, we are going to look at this relationship as though we were reviewing something tangible, breaking it down into its exterior, interior performance, safety features, unique selling points, the price, and finally a conclusion. But unlike a car or a phone, what we are reviewing here is a living, breathing strategic relationship between two of the most powerful democracies on the planet. And this partnership is not just important to them, it has global consequences. When we first look at the exterior of this alliance, the surface appearance, it shines in a way that few partnerships do. From the outside, the US-India relationship projects power, cooperation, and shared vision. We see photographs of leaders shaking hands at summits. We hear about billion-dollar trade deals. We watch as their militaries conduct massive joint exercises in the Indian Ocean. The optics are carefully managed. For Washington, India is presented as the natural ally in Asia, the world's largest democracy, a rising power that stands shoulder to shoulder with America in promoting stability. For New Delhi, America is shown as the indispensable partner that supports India's rise, that provides access to advanced technologies, that strengthens its place on the global stage. The exterior is polished and deliberate. Every time the leaders of these two countries meet, the world is shown images of warmth, strength, and mutual respect. The exterior is not only about appearances, it is also a tool of deterrence. When China or any other rival sees the US and India side by side, it sends a message that this partnership is not fragile. It looks strong, it looks stable, and it looks built to last. That is the exterior of this alliance, a powerful facade of unity, even when disagreements exist behind the curtain. Moving beyond the surface, the interior of this partnership is where the real design and comfort lie. At its core, the US-India alliance is built on a set of shared values and human connections that cannot be ignored. Both nations are democracies, valuing individual freedoms, free speech, and representative government, even though the systems operate differently and face their own challenges. Millions of Indian Americans live in the United States, contributing to medicine, business, technology, and culture. They form one of the most successful immigrant groups in America, creating an interior bridge that constantly strengthens ties. These communities act as unofficial ambassadors, shaping understanding between the two nations. Trade and education also add to the interior. Thousands of Indian students study in American universities, bringing back not only knowledge but also connections that will last decades. The interior, however, is not without its rough edges. The two nations disagree on issues such as trade protectionism, how to handle climate change, how to balance relations with Russia, or even how to interpret human rights. But the interior is built with enough flexibility and padding that these differences, while sometimes uncomfortable, do not break the structure. The comfort inside may not always feel luxurious, but it is solid and dependable. It keeps both sides committed because the foundations run deeper than surface appearances. Now let us examine the performance of this alliance, because this is where the real strength becomes visible. India provides the United States with things no other country can offer. A market of over 1.4 billion people means enormous opportunities for trade and investment. A rapidly growing economy projected to be one of the top 3 in the world in the coming decades makes India indispensable to US companies and investors. Militarily, India offers the US a powerful partner in Asia, one that can balance China's influence and project strength in a region where America alone cannot dominate. India's performance is measured by its steady rise as a global power, its refusal to be bullied, and its willingness to stand strong in the Indo-Pacific. On the American side, performance comes in the form of cutting-edge technology transfers, defense hardware, intelligence support, and diplomatic backing. When India faces international pressure, such as during border clashes with China or when it needs global recognition of its status, the US often steps in with words and actions that boost India's position. Together, their performance amplifies each other. Separately, they are powerful. Together, they are formidable. Performance here is not just about speed or efficiency, it is about long-term results. And in this case, the alliance delivers.
No serious partnership can exist without safety features, and this relationship is designed with plenty of them. Safety comes in the form of defense agreements, such as the foundational pacts that allow interoperability between their militaries. It comes in intelligence sharing, helping both countries prevent terrorism, cyber attacks, and hostile intrusions. It comes in the joint naval patrols that ensure freedom of navigation in the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea, protecting trade routes that carry trillions of dollars worth of goods. These safety features are not limited to military cooperation. They also include economic safeguards, such as bilateral agreements that secure supply chains, especially in critical sectors like semiconductors and pharmaceuticals. Safety means predictability in a world full of uncertainty. The US knows India will not suddenly shift entirely toward China. India knows the US will not abandon Asia. These assurances act like airbags and seatbelts, preventing the partnership from collapsing even during accidents or shocks. When global crises hit, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, the US and India shared vaccines and medical supplies, showing that their safety nets extend even to humanitarian cooperation. The safety features here are not flashy, but they are life-saving, both literally and strategically.
What makes this partnership stand out are its unique selling points. Unlike America's alliance with NATO, which is about collective defense, or its alliance with Japan, which is rooted in post-war security arrangements, the partnership with India is unique because India is an independent rising power. It does not follow orders from Washington. It does not need American aid to survive. Instead, it engages on equal terms. For the United States, this is both challenging and valuable. It cannot dictate to India, but because India acts independently, its partnership carries far greater weight. When India sides with America on an issue, it is not seen as obedience, but as a choice. That choice makes the alliance more authentic. Another unique selling point is India's position as one of the only countries capable of balancing China. With its massive population, growing economy, and large military, India has the potential to be the counterweight that the US desperately needs in Asia. No other ally offers this combination. Additionally, India maintains strong relations with countries that the US struggles with, like Russia and Iran. This gives Washington a valuable indirect channel. Finally, India's young population is another unique selling point. At a time when Europe and even China are aging, India's demographic advantage means it will remain vibrant and economically dynamic for decades. This makes it an irreplaceable, long-term partner. But like anything valuable, this alliance comes with a price. For the United States, the price of keeping India close is accepting that it cannot control India's every decision. Washington must tolerate India's independent stance on issues like Russia's invasion of Ukraine, where New Delhi chose to continue buying Russian oil. It must accept that India will sometimes vote differently at the United Nations, or that it will pursue defense deals with France or Israel, not just America. The price is compromise and patience. For India, the price is balancing. Aligning too closely with the US risks angering China further, risks jeopardizing its traditional defense ties with Russia, and risks being seen by other developing nations as too close to the West. India must walk a careful line, often paying the price of diplomatic balancing acts. It also faces American pressure on issues such as climate change, trade liberalization, and human rights. While India values the partnership, it cannot always meet Washington's expectations without paying a domestic political price. Yet both sides know that the cost of separation would be far higher than the cost of maintaining the alliance. The price is real, but the benefits are greater. So when we step back and ask why the US does not want to lose India's alliance, the answer becomes clear. This partnership is not just about convenience, it is about strategy. It is not just about economics, it is about survival in a changing world. Without India, the US strategy in Asia collapses. Without India, China's dominance becomes nearly impossible to check. Without India, America's ability to shape the future of the Indo-Pacific is severely weakened. For India, without the US's rise to global power status would face more obstacles, more resistance, and more vulnerability. This is why, despite disagreements, despite costs, the alliance persists and strengthens, from the polished exterior to the resilient interior, from the high performance to the robust safety features, from the unique selling points that no other partner offers to the price that both sides willingly pay. This alliance is designed to last. It is not perfect, but it is powerful, and that is why the United States cannot afford to lose India's alliance. The future will only make this more obvious. As technology shifts, as economies change, as power balances evolve, the partnership between the United States and India will be one of the defining factors of the 21st century. It will determine not only the security of Asia, but the stability of the global order. The exterior may shine brighter, the interior may be upgraded, the performance may be tested, but the core truth will remain the same. This alliance is irreplaceable, and that is why America will hold on to India, not just as a partner, but as a pillar of its global strategy for decades to come.